Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, threaten my job. Thank you, I will. Fulfilled passenger demand. I'm just a lowly grunt. Inside versus outside voice. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Threaten my job. Thank you, I will. I posted this elsewhere, but I feel it also fits right in here too. Bit of background, this happened in the UK in about 91-92 and I'm at the time I was about 20 to 21. In the early 90s I'd just come back from working overseas, and as it was December I needed a job quickly, so I took one in a Turkish restaurant, relevant later. It was a waitress job and I truly loved the job. The one other waiter was nice, the three chefs were great and taught me a few tips and recipes I still use to this day. The management, husband and wife, seemed okay at first, but typically didn't want to have to do anything except mingle and drink wine during service hours, never once helping, but always quick with blame. A typical night myself and the other waiter, M, worked our backsides to the bone, and they'd just sit, watch and pester the customers. I didn't see a single tip when I worked in this restaurant, but it's UK so not compulsory anyway, so I didn't think anything of this at the time. We worked through Christmas and the New Year's Eve shift was approaching, so the manager asked me to purchase some cloth napkins from a store on the other side of the town, which I did. I bought them, took them into the restaurant, and I didn't notice until afterwards was shortchanged in my reimbursement for purchasing them. I had to use my own money. One of the managers said she'd had a great idea and she'd like me and the other waiter to wear something in lines of traditional Turkish costume that evening, for the booked solidly New Year's Eve shift, a shift I was due to start in a few hours. This was the first time she'd mentioned anything about this idea of hers. I mentioned it could be possible, but I'd like to see what she had planned. She produced a cardboard box and showed me first the stunning outfit she'd chosen for the waiter, my colleague. I said it looked amazing and questioned what she'd chosen for me. Bear in mind I was very slim, about a size 6-8, UK, and about 5 feet 10 inches. She produced from the box this very skimpy see-through outfit that would be more in place in a lover's bedroom. I asked her if she was serious. She said, yes, to which I said, I'm not wearing that. She then told me that I'm wearing it or I'm fired. So I replied with a simple, "By then," and reached for my things. She retracted immediately in a panic, saying, No, I didn't mean that, you need to stay. I smiled and walked out. A few days later I popped in for my final wages, cash envelope and P45 tax documentation, and the other waiter was there at that time. He said that I'd really left them in the sh*t that night doing that. I apologized to him, very genuine, to which he smiled broadly and said nothing to be sorry for. The management had to help that night and he even saw some tips. The management were grumpy when they came out to see me and very grudgingly gave me my final wages. I can't remember if they gave me my P45 or not though. The other waiter's reaction to telling me what happened that night still makes me smile to this day. Fulfilled passenger demand. This occurred in the mid-1990s, not sure if it will be approved. I was working the ticket counter for TWA in a small city. We were delayed for weather and a passenger who flew every week was furious because he would miss his connection. He didn't have any options that evening. He was on our last flight and the last connecting flight for an early morning meeting the next day. He's doing the usual yelling, cursing, slamming his hand on the counter, etc., because that always works, right? After he was done screaming, he demanded scissors. I had a good idea what he was going to do after threatening he would never fly us again. He's acted this way numerous times if his flights were even slightly delayed. The supervisor didn't catch on and told me no, but I gave him the scissors anyway. He proceeded to chop up his frequent flyer card, threw the pieces at us and slammed the scissors down and stormed off. This guy was a top-tier customer who had a few 100,000 miles in his account. Considering what he just did and said, I picked up the pieces and called the frequent flyer desk reps for his tier level, explained who I was and what just occurred. His account had enough history of his behavior that they asked I send them pieces and a statement from myself and supervisor. The following week, the guy shows up to fly out. During the process of checking him in, we discover his account isn't associated with his reservation. After some poking around, I find out his account has been cancelled and his miles removed. When I explained this, I thought he was going to have a stroke, and while he was throwing his fit, he demanded to see the manager. The manager of course already knows what occurred and told him there's nothing we can do. He stormed off and flew another airline, and he never flew us after that. I'm just a lowly grunt. I work at a food factory. I can do whatever positions that are there and train others. I refuse to be promoted, I rather just a grunt, but I have had a couple new supervisors come in with this "I'm an alpha" mentality. I'm one of 15 to 16 ppl out of 500 plus ppl who knows how to run the plant. We are divided between 3 shifts, so 5 folks a shift, 5 lines and 3 prep/clean area plus another extra support line, so one of us on either a line or prep/clean. We are allowed choose which. The alphas came through made it clear, me being a grunt, should STFU. If they have questions they'll ask the team leads. At the time I was training both leads on the line. I usually stay on line blue, my favorite to be at, when things turned into a sh*t show and I decided I'll stay in my lane and be the peasant I am. Half a shift goes by and we've done not even an hour worth of work. The leads were stressed. I and another guy, whose regular line was down for the day, wouldn't help, and the supervisors were even more stressed. The leads didn't know what to do. Finally both alphas graced me and the other guy, I'll call him grunt number 1, with their presence to ask us for help. I absolutely loved the shocked look on their faces when I looked at number 1 and asked, "Hey grunt number 1, what did our lords and saviors say to us yesterday?" Number 1, "Well grunt number 2, our majesties said we peasants should keep our lowly mouths shut up, but I may not be right considering as a peasant I don't know the speech of higher beings." We stood there grinning ear to ear like the Joker. By hour 5 the production manager and director of operations will show up. They'll look at the cameras plus see on our complete product system that we have done almost nothing. The product manager and director both are cool dudes who actually have been down with us and gotten their hands dirty. They even fought the COO to give myself and the other 14 to 15 ppl the positions we have now due to our knowledge of the place, so we can get paid more any of the regular workers. Anyway, both were extremely pissed off, asked myself and number 1 to sort the line out, and they took both alphas, took their offices. Didn't see either one for a week, and product manager did their job plus acted as our supervisor for the week. After that week both alphas returned and had to be trained by me and number 1. Poor bastards, we put them through hell and made sure that they were on the line running the hardest to make products for that day or days. Training lasted 30 days, we gave the big bosses the thumbs up, but they were moved to swing and graveyard shifts since morning shift usually has more eyes on us compared to the other 2. To end this long-ass story, Supervisor Dumber eventually got fired and Supervisor Dumb is still around but gets treated like toilet paper, so let's see how much longer he'll stick around. This happened start of 2020. Inside versus outside voice. This isn't about me, but it's about my younger sister. There's a 3-year difference between me and my sister, and when I was at the end of kindergarten my dad was putting hardwood floors into our townhouse, and so my 4-year-old sister was there with him. Well, while my dad was talking to his buddy about the floors, my sister wanted something and was yelling for it. My dad told her, if you're gonna be inside you need to use your inside voice. That's where he messed up, because they had the front door propped open as they were coming in and out of the house. So here goes my sister right out the front door to stand on the front step, and she started yelling for the toy she wanted again. Not realizing this yet, he reminded her that she needed to use her inside voice, and she said, "But Daddy, I'm outside and you said I can use my outside voice when I'm outside." My dad almost died of laughter when he saw her standing on the front step. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.